The great American writer John Steinbeck called this race an emotion, a turbulence, an explosion, one of the most beautiful and satisfying things I have ever experienced, where the twin spires preside over the celebration of spring that is Kentucky Derby Day. Since the year the Constitution was written, they have been racing horses in Kentucky, a tradition older than the bluegrass state itself. And since 1875, they have come to Churchill Downs in a setting as evocative as golf at Augusta, baseball in the Bronx, or college football in North Florida. They've come with dreams of the winner's circle in the oldest continuously held sporting event in America. This year, 7 owners will watch their 11 horses run for the roses in the most exciting 2 minutes in American sports. Who will join the list of legendary winners here at Churchill Downs? Champions like American Pharoah, Seattle Slew, and Secretariat. This is the first running of the Chris Lewis's Google Sheets-based horse racing simulation dynasty fantasy league Kentucky Derby. And we welcome you to Churchill Downs. 9 races today. A beautiful day here in Louisville, Kentucky. And we're almost ready for racing. Chris, what are we looking at today?
Thanks, Jimmy. Fantastic opening monologue. Well,
Thank you.
the stable owners have gone all out. Here's me and Kaylin. Kaylin's got her fancy drink and her fancy hat. Some of you might recognize the fancy hat from her wearing it at Lewis Downs. We've also got Thompson's. They've got their fancy hats too. There's a whole bunch of them. And they're looking good and they're ready for the big race. We also have Johnny and girlfriend Nicole with authentic mint juleps and Belmont jewels.
Yes.
Nice.
And Macy's got an authentic Belmont jewel too. Those
So
not
awesome.
those not pictured are here in attendance at Churchill Downs though. All right, let's talk about the races. There's 2 stakes races today, the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks. Let's not bury the lead. Let's talk about them first. The Kentucky Derby has an $850,000 purse. The conversation, I feel it starts with the stable to watch, and that's Brett's stable. The Kentucky Derby favorite is the only grade A 3-year-old horse, and it's Beach Carrot. Brett spent quite a bit of money at the auction draft, and this is on Beach Carrot, and this is why. This is the moment he's had circled on his calendar, I'm sure. But what if it's not Beach Carrot? Well, the second favorite is also Brett's horse. It's Intention, a grade B 3-year-old. So Brett's really got the Kentucky Derby stacked. Here's the rest of the field. I'll point out one other horse for those that are that don't want to see Brett sweep the race. And the highest graded horse not owned by Brett is Supply and Demand, the grade C horse owned by Jesse. I was able to catch up with Jesse pregame, and I asked her, your horse Supply and Demand is best positioned to play spoiler to Brett's stable in the Kentucky Derby. What do you think of his chances? And she was nice enough to provide a written statement. It says, I have consulted with my horse. She said, I have consulted with my horse oracle, Aria, who has a vision that Supply and Demand will take home the big prize. And there's Aria, the horse oracle, in her fancy Kentucky Derby hat.
Phenomenal.
There. Okay, but the Kentucky
That was
Derby
too awesome.
The Kentucky Derby is not the only stakes race. We also have the Kentucky Oaks, open to females grades D through H, 3-year-olds. So who do we like in that race? Well, we got to go back to the stable to watch, actually, because there's a household name. Runt, you've all heard of her by now, was the first pick in the draft, the first horse with 2 career wins, and she's still undefeated, and was the largest claim in HRFL history. Brett claimed her from Johnny for $60,000. But I am going to call Runt the co-favorite because there's 3 grade D horses in the race. In addition to Runt, there's Oh Showtime owned by Casey and Candy Bar owned by Andrew. Now with the distance that the race is, it's a little bit of a challenge for Runt actually. Candy Bar is a little bit more comfortable with the distance, and Oh Showtime on paper looks to be a lot more comfortable with the distance. So if you had to split hairs, I think you'd say Oh Showtime's the favorite. But until Runt loses a race against horses that are the same grade as her, I think you have to say she's one of the favorites. But it's a big field, 16 entries. And when you get a field that big, anything can happen. And it's more likely that you have an outlier performance. And of course, we've seen there's a lot of E grade horses, and a one grade upset is not uncommon in HRFL. I did want to touch on one of the undercard races, and that's race number 7. And that's because we've got the return of Portugal the Fast, the Saudi Cup winner. This is our most successful, biggest winning horse ever so far by a lot. Andrew's horse has won $600,000. He won on day 1 and hasn't raced since. But he's back today, so that's a treat. We get to see him. And it also means that we get a rematch between him and the other grade A horse that's 4 and up, Apology Accepted. That's race number 7. I'll touch briefly on race day 4 and the season at large so far. On race day 4, Johnny took over for first place, took Andrew's spot right before the big meet here at Churchill Downs. And just a fun note from day 4, a couple stables joined the back-to-back wins club. That was Nate and Christian joined Macy, Johnny, and Jimmy. I'm surprised there's that many that have won back-to-back races already. Macy has the asterisk because he won on day 1 races 1 and I think 5, but races 2, 3, and 4 were all unowned horses. So I consider that a back-to-back win. All right, but everyone's favorite segment, we're at Churchill Downs, but there's no reason for this tradition to change. Jimmy, the dark horse detective, who you got?
Thank you, Chris. And while it might not change, it's a little different since my dark horse was actually one of your co-favorites. Oh Showtime today is my pick. 2 reasons. Showtime, what's a bigger Showtime than Kentucky Derby Day? Even though it is the Oaks, Kentucky Derby Day. Come on. Also, St. Patty's Day, Oh Showtime. Please, Irish as hell. Let's go, Oh Showtime. Yeah. Back to you, Jimmy. Back to you, Chris. Oh my God.
Awesome. Yeah, and those are 2 reasons I hadn't even thought of. So in addition to being a grade D horse that's comfortable with the distance, Oh Showtime is a horse to watch. All right. What do you say we go to the races?
All right, let's head out to the track for our first race of the day. As we said, beautiful conditions out here. Conditions are perfect for racing here at the Derby. The crowd is ready. Capacity crowd, of course. Hundreds of thousands. Or 150,000. I should have looked that up.
I'm getting it pulled up.
Yeah, go
Jimmy,
ahead.
Why don't you preview this race for us while I get it looked up?
All right, no problem. We got just 6 horses today. Just some G's, an H, and an I. We've got Nerd Alert and Ping Pong, Rigbone, Arbitrary Lines, all the G horses, Arbitrary Lines already with a career win, and Body Surfer, Nerd Alert. Also, I think I missed one there. Yeah, Oops. And the Wet Bandit, of course.
The Wet Bandit, yes. I think this is our only race on the turf today, Jimmy, but looks like the horses are ready when you are.
All right, 8 furlongs. Let's get it going here at Churchill Downs, and we're off. Rigbone with the early lead, coming around the first turn. Nerd Alert in second. Body Surfer up into third, followed by Ping Pong, Arbitrary Lines, and Wet Bandit as we go down the backstretch. Nerd Alert still in first. Body Surfer charging ahead. Rigbone also there. 3 horses up front. Ping Pong, Wet Bandit getting closer. Rigbone in first as we go to the halfway point. Nerd Alert in second. Wet Bandit there in third. Body Surfer falling back with Ping Pong and Arbitrary Lines. Rigbone and Nerd Alert out ahead as we get into the stretch run. Nerd Alert in first. Rigbone right on its tail. It's a 2-horse race as we approach the finish. Rigbone back into first. And now it's Nerd Alert. Arbitrary Lines charging fast. And Arbitrary Lines out of nowhere wins it by a hair. Nerd Alert in second, followed by the Wet Bandit, Rigbone, Body Surfer, and Ping Pong. What a finish.
Thanks, Jimmy. Yeah, Arbitrary Lines making a move late. That's another win for Nate. All right, let's look at
Nate.
race number 2. A lot of unowned horses here. There's 2 grade F horses. They'll be the favorites. One of those is owned. So we'll talk about Moving Picture Show, who actually already has a win in his career.
Nice. Yep. We've got a Pizza Slice. 2 owned horses in this race, just 6 horses. But we're ready to rock. Race 2 here on the dirt. 10 furlongs. And we're off. Pizza Slice, followed by Gunslinger, Speakeasy, Moving Picture Show, Anecdotal Observer, and Crescendo. As we pass the first turn, Pizza Slice and Gunslinger up front. Speakeasy coming in hard, 3 wide. As we go into the back stretch, Pizza Slice in first, Gunslinger in second. Anecdotal Observer now up into the top 4. Speakeasy coming strong into second as we turn around the second turn. Gunslinger in first, Speakeasy charging strong, Pizza Slice also charging. The whole field trying to catch up with Gunslinger and Speakeasy. They're 1 and 2 now. Pizza Slice making a run. Pizza Slice now into second, trying to catch Gunslinger as we go into the stretch. We're approaching the finish line. Gunslinger by half a length gets the win. Moving Picture Show charges up to take second, followed by Anecdotal Crescendo, and Pizza Slice falls down to 6th. Gunslinger with the win.
Thanks, Jimmy. All right, I guess let's move right along. Race number 3. 3-year-old males, grades F to H.
Bunch of Fs.
Yeah, they're all F grade horses. I guess the one to point out is Open Borders, owned by Andrew, because he has a win already in his career, but it's on paper a real evenly matched race.
All right, this one also on the dirt. And 10 furlongs, the $70,000 purse. 6 horses, and we're about ready to run the third race of the day here at Churchill Downs. They're off. Open Borders and Chocolate Mercury with the early lead, followed by Froosh, Jumbo Cheesema, Waltz Stradivarius, and We Used to Stomp. Chocolate Mercury and Jumbo Cheesema up front with Waltz Stradivarius. As we head into the back stretch, Jumbo Cheesema in first. Now it's Waltz Stradivarius taking the lead. Chocolate Mercury charging up to second. As we hit the halfway point, Jumbo Cheesema in third. Waltz Stradivarius keeping the lead. We Used to Stomp in fourth. Now Open Borders. Froosh coming up now. And Chocolate Mercury into the lead. Waltz Stradivarius right there. He retakes the lead. We've got a 3-horse race as we get towards the finish. Chocolate Mercury charging strong. Here's Jumbo Cheesema trying to catch it, but Chocolate Mercury looks to be in the lead. Waltz Stradivarius a late charge and takes it at the end. Waltz Stradivarius wins it, followed by Chocolate Mercury, Froosh, Jumbo Cheesema, We Used to Stomp, and Open Borders. Congratulations, Casey and Waltz Stradivarius.
Yeah, congrats to Casey. That's his, I think, his second career win.
And yeah, that was a tough one for Chocolate Mercury right there at the end.
Yeah, tough right at the end, got passed. All right. Let's see. Race 4, Jimmy, is on the dirt. Our first claiming race of the day out of 2. Here's the field. The 2 state owner-owned horses are the 2 furthest long shots, the I-grade horses. We're more likely to see one of those unowned horses get a win here, but we'll see.
Yes, we will. Those 2 owned horses also the only ones that have win placed or showed so far.
That's right.
$75,000 purse race. 9 furlongs here. And as Chris said, it will be a claiming race as well. Conditions still perfect here on the track as we get race 4 underway. The last horse is in the paddock and they're off. All I Can Afford out to the early lead, followed by Moral Hazard. Deliberate Speed now taking over the lead. Captain Whatnot in fourth, That Ain't Mine in fifth, and Amplify in sixth. As we go down the backstretch, Deliberate Speed still in the lead. Captain Whatnot in third. Moral Hazard now up into second. Coming up on the halfway point, Captain Whatnot down to third. All I Could Afford taking the lead. Captain Whatnot still in second, followed by Moral Hazard, Deliberate Speed, Amplify, and That Ain't Mine trailing. All I Could Afford in the lead. Trying to stretch it to half a length, but Deliberate Speed making a run. Takes over second with Captain Whatnot, but All I Could Afford's got a big lead. Deliberate Speed charging hard late, and we've got another steal right at the end. Deliberate Speed with the win. Captain Whatnot in second. Zach and All I Could Afford in third, followed by Moral Hazard, Amplify, and That Ain't Mine. These races are being decided at the last second here, Chris.
Yeah,
Very dramatic.
That's a tough one for Zach. He's still looking for his first career win. And if we scroll back here on the replay, he was in first with that big of a lead, that close to the end.
Really looked like it was over there.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I feel like
Any
really
claims?
A for effort on That Ain't Mine, though. I mean, everyone was done and he's still finished.
That's true. We do appreciate That Ain't Mine's effort.
Yes. All right, Chris, do we have any claims?
There were no claims in
Wow.
race 4.
All right.
All right, race 5 is also a claiming race. One claim to watch is it's for 55,000. Last week or 2 weeks ago, Thereupon I Linger was claimed for 50,000, but there were 2 claims in, Andrew and Kaylin. So Andrew got the claim. I wonder if the $5,000 increase was enough to scare Kaylin away, or if she's still interested. So yeah, Thereupon I Linger, the grade D horse, is a super heavy favorite in this one. 2 whole grades over Evergreen Terrace, the grade F horse. Kaylin, who's your horse to watch in this one?
Oh, I like Blano.
She likes Blano.
What's the purse on this one again?
Yeah, let's look. This one is
80,000.
80,000.
So I'm hoping to flip this horse for a profit. Hope one of y'all out there put a claim in on him.
Do we talk about my feelings about this or not yet?
Yeah.
Let's do it now. Well, we're all here.
I'm just a little bummed because that horse is going to be like loved and welcomed into my stable, and you're trying to flip it a freaking week later. You didn't even like give it any time to feed it your high quality hay and train it. It was just like in and out.
Listen,
And
I
so
didn't
I'll
turn.
tell you,
Go ahead.
I did not put a claim on because I'm too bitter. So spoiler.
I didn't turn any of my other horses that lost into glue. You're welcome.
Andrew is a very humane owner.
Sure.
All right. Others are free
That
to
was
comment
awesome.
too. Kaylin noted that since I told everyone to be quiet during the first couple minutes, maybe everyone felt like they couldn't comment, but those comments
Floor
are
is open.
floor is open. Best between the races, but whatever. Have fun with it. So why don't we do race 5, Jimmy?
Let's do it.
All right.
Everybody's
There-
excited. Crowd's
Yeah.
excited. Getting warmed up here. Couple races in. Approaching the Oaks and the Derby, but we're not there yet. Let's get some more entertaining races here. Another 6-horse race, our shortest race of the day, 7.5 furlongs. And the last horse is in the stall and they're off. Nuclear Spritz and Blano with the early lead. All Sales of Final up there as well. Thereupon I Linger. Evergreen Terrace. Everybody real close here as we go past the first turn. Mix and Natural. Now All Sales of Final. Thereupon I Linger. Crawling up into second. Now into first as we approach the half stretch. Nuclear Spritz now in the lead. Thereupon I Linger in second. Followed by All Sales of Final. Blano now up into second. Charging hard. Right with Nuclear Spritz as we approach the last turn. Evergreen Terrace now into second. Nuclear Spritz still maintaining the lead. Blano in second, and down the stretch they come. Blano's in first, charging hard, almost a half-length lead over Thereupon I Linger. But just like other races, they're charging hard at the end, and Thereupon I Linger pulls out the victory, followed by Evergreen Terrace. Blano, All Sales are Final. Nuclear Spritz, Mix and Natural. The Derby and the Oaks are going to have a hard time living up to some of the endings in these races, Chris.
Well, damn, I'm kind of eating my words. This is awkward.
That was my plan all along.
You know, there was all the talk about Thereupon I Linger and Blano that I don't want us to miss. Thereupon I Linger was a heavy favorite. And as many that have been following know, Walt has a ridiculous number of top 3 finishes, the Orange Stable, but he's yet to get his first win.
Oh,
And look how close he was to a 2-grade upset for his first win.
unbelievable.
But no. What did Kalen said? Well, it's always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Oh,
You get a photo review on that?
Sure. And it was Thereupon I Linger.
After
I'm also
further review.
kind of eating my words here. Thereupon I Linger was originally my horse,
Yes.
and I put them in the claims race 2 weeks ago as a change in strategy, and it paid off then. But now I'm feeling like I missed that horse. A lot of mixed
Ooh.
emotion.
Sure. And I think Thereupon I Linger won 2 weeks ago. Isn't that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
back to back.
the short term strategy for that paid off for me, but now a lot of feelings.
All right. Well,
Congrats to the winners.
all right. Well,
Nice.
were there any claims? I bet we're wondering.
Yes.
And the answer is no. For the first time in HRFL history, there's no claims on a race day.
Wow.
Really?
Yep. So Thereupon I Linger will
Hell
stay
yeah.
with
All right.
Andrew.
Maybe you can get to know the horse now, Andrew.
I'll see you next week.
There were fewer claims races than normal this week. There'll be
Yeah,
more
just the 2.
next time. Yeah. All right. Well, let's
Nice.
look at race 6.
All right, halfway through the docket here.
Yeah, we got a grade D horse. It's the favorite. Although a couple other horses in the race, the two long shots have wins. That's Nowadays owned by Brett and Her Majesty owned by Walt. Squibbler is the favorite as a grade D horse, but in this race it's only a 1-grade favorite. And we just saw in race 5 that a horse that was 2 grades lower almost pulled off the upset. So of course anything can happen.
Of course, as we've seen today.
Yeah.
Very entertaining, dramatic finishes so far. As we are about to start race 6, second half of the day, and they're off. Let's Play 2, followed by Capiche, Nowadays, Her Majesty, I Goat Dynasty, and Squibbler down in last right now. Capiche in the lead. Let's Play 2 in second, I Goat in third. As we head in the backstretch, Let's Play 2 up into first now. Capiche and Squibbler, little about a half length behind, past the halfway point. Let's Play 2 looking good. Capiche and Squibbler not far, but Squibbler making a run, but still in second. Let's Play 2 lengthening their lead now, over half a length as we pass the last turn. Capiche charging strong, trying to catch him. Squibbler there too. I Goat Dynasty charging hard now, and he's very close here as we get going down the stretch to come. I Goat Dynasty now in the lead. Let's Play 2 falls way back. Capiche wins it. What is going on? I Goat Dynasty in the second, Squibbler in third. Let's Play 2 down to fourth, followed by Nowadays and Her Majesty. Congratulations, Christian, on first and third.
Yeah, and another heartbreaker for Walt. How about that finish?
Oh,
Look at this.
can't even.
Can't buy a win. But another second place finish. His table has really been successful. Just hasn't closed the deal yet. Congrats to Christian.
Yeah, nice job.
Thank you.
guys.
Congrats to everybody. Well played. Well played. Well raced.
All right. Well, race 7 is the only undercard race that I highlighted in the pregame show. And it's because it's got some big names. There's 8 horses, but it's got the return of Portugal the Fast, our prime time biggest, most successful horse. I mean, just look at this. $600,000 career prize money. And that was just in one race because it was the Saudi Cup. And she has rested every day since, but is back now and gets a rematch against Apology Accepted, the other grade A horse that is age 4 and up. There's also, of course, some C grade and D grade horses. There are more of the long shots. But this should be a fun one.
Absolutely, Chris. Said 3 winners in this race. $95,000 purse, a 10 furlong race on the dirt. Race number 7 of the day. Just 3 more after this. 8 horses about ready to start. And they're off. Apology accepted out early to the lead, followed by Distracted. Portugal the Fast now into second. Peterburg in fourth for Old Time's Sake. Jeffersonian, Good Authority, and Chasmo 69. Apology accepted now, charging in the lead over half a length as we approach the halfway point. For Old Time's Sake in second, followed by Distracted. Peterburg now up into third. Apology accepted with over a length lead. Can he hold it, or will it be like some of the other races? As I say it, For Old Time's Sake, charging hard, getting up in near Apology accepted as they're down the stretch. Apology accepted, still in the lead, no. Now charging very hard and keeps the lead and the win. Apology accepted with the win. For Old Time's Sake in second. Portugal the Fast upset down into third, followed by Distracted, Good Authority, Chasmo 69, Peterburg, and Jeffersonian. Another huge upset. Well, not huge.
Yeah, no, that one of the grade A horses was most likely to win. Apology accepted, the one that did it. Got a little bit of revenge for the Saudi Cup. Portugal the Fast with the 3rd place finish, but congrats. Of course, I shouldn't skip. Congrats to Jimmy on the win, but congrats to Andrew for 2nd and 3rd. The 2nd place finish for Old Time's Sake was a little bit of a surprise, but a good result for Andrew.
I'll see you next time, Jimmy.
Will do.
We got a little
course.
rivalry going. Apology accepted in
Ooh.
Portugal the Fast. And it
Yes.
should be the 2 grade A horses. All right. Here comes big stakes race, the Kentucky Oaks, 16 horses. I love the big field. We talked about the favorites in the pregame show. Kaylin, let's talk about yours since you're here. You got Bill of Rights and Kumquat Aficionado. What do you think of their chances?
Well, I feel like a really bad horse mom because all my horses are really tired, but I didn't strategize very well, thinking long term. So next year I will have figured this out better, but we couldn't miss it. But I'm not sure how my chances are because they're really freaking tired.
All right. Well, hey, you live and you learn.
And I've not benefited at all from being married to the person in charge of the fantasy races.
That's
I just want
That's
to point out that you called me a bad horse owner like 2 races ago.
Well, yeah.
well, that's how you know I'm not cheating because I'm not helping Kaylin.
I was gonna say that's good evidence of the integrity of the
Yeah.
operation.
Of the commissioner.
All right, we got a big race, stakes race, huge purse, $230,000 purse.
Ooh, the
Uh,
Kentucky Oaks. As he said, 230,000. That means 138,000 to the winner. A giant field here, 16 horses. And the last horses getting into position. The last fence closing.
I'm excited, Jimmy. Here we go.
Here we go. The first ever Kentucky Oaks. And they're off. Oh, Showtime in the lead to start, followed by Gator Knight, Candy Bar, Swamp Knocker now into second, Kumquat Aficionado. Gator Knight in first, followed by Candy Bar. No Thanks Diplomat in third. Coming down across the halfway point, Gator Knight still in the lead. No Thanks Diplomat in second. Candy Bar up there as well. Runt has made his way up into third. Candy Bar now into the lead. And everyone behind him changing very fast, but Candy Bar now almost a half-length lead. Oh, Showtime in second, charging hard. Kumquat Aficionado in third, and Bill of Rights now into second. We've got a hell of a race. Bill of Rights in first. Candy Bar's right there. Oh, Showtime's right there. Runt's there. And we've got a photo finish. It looks like it's Runt at the death, as they say in soccer. Runt with the victory, followed by Oh, Showtime, Chips and Medallion, Swamp Knocker, Bill of Rights, Eve, Candy Bar, Liberty, Quales Tu Nombre, Kumquat Aficionado, No Thanks Diplomat, Gator Knight, Home Movies, Mount Timanogus, Trivia Night, and Banjo. Had to get them all.
Can you believe it's Runt?
Unfucking believable.
Uh,
Sorry if we're not doing
I was gonna
profanity,
wait
but I
until
did it.
Unsend that message that Red doesn't even know how to lose.
Runt apparently doesn't. So the legend continues with Runt.
Unbelievable.
Undefeated.
out.
The first horse with 2 wins, and now the first horse with 3 wins. I want to point out again that Brett claimed him for $60,000, or claimed her for $60,000 from Johnny. Well, that has already paid for itself.
Wow.
So big win for Runt. Oh, Showtime, who was talked a lot during the pregame show, did have a nice finish. Was right there with Runt at the finish line and got second.
As
And
close
then-
as it gets.
And then how about this? That Brett got 3rd place with chips and medallions.
Wow.
I think this isn't even the race that Brett had circled on the calendar. So considering he's got the top 2 favorites in the much larger purse Kentucky Derby that's next, it's a little frightening what he's likely to do to the standings in just a couple minutes.
What about second
Absolutely.
place for the dark horse?
Yes, oh Showtime, and congrats
sure.
to Casey on the 2nd place finish.
You were just gonna breeze right over.
I breezed. I could have spent a little more time on it. As you guys know,
Honestly, wait, can I get another like 3 minutes from you then to make up for it? This is my first Zoom call that I've been on. I've really tried hard to be here, and I got about 5 seconds of fame for the 2nd place finish here. So
yeah,
any other facts about Showtime would be great. It seems like you put a lot of facts because I assume you already know the results before this in first and third, but then
Yeah.
I guess you just assumed I wasn't going to be on the call, and so I'm kind of offended here that you just were like, oh, he's not going to be here anyway. So I'm just going to laugh over Showtime, but here I
well,
am.
we do
I
love
got
Oh
that.
Showtime, and Oh Showtime.
We do.
was
We
talking-
showed love in the pregame. I don't know if you were on,
we
but
talked about Oh Showtime
I
a
missed
lot
that.
in the pregame.
oh, okay, gotcha. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the
That's what-
context of St. Patrick's Day. Oh, Showtime.
Yeah, in the context of St. Patrick's Day, in the context of being a favorite in the Oaks, but it'll be on YouTube if you want to catch it later. And
No, but
basically,
I appreciate it. Thanks, man.
yeah,
Also, of course,
you
a
also-
horse named Oh Showtime is going to show up at the big time
yes,
when it's showtime.
They're only great
That-
when they need to be.
that's right. Also, Casey, if you missed it, you won a race earlier this evening.
Yeah, I was told via text. It really lighted up my life.
Congrats. All right, as those of you, as you
I was
know,
going to ask, like, this is Hall of Fame, right? On the Hall of Champions or whatever.
yeah, the Hall of Stakes winner. So as Andrew is remembering, the highest honor a horse can get in HRFL is to win a stakes race and be immortalized with a photo. So I introduce Runt, Kentucky Oaks champion.
Is he wearing red on purpose?
Oh no,
Pardon me.
she is not wearing red on purpose, but she is this color on purpose.
So like her saddle thing's red too.
That's pretty perfect. Well, but
Ooh.
yeah,
Wow,
but
should've
it's
been
not.
more- Is that garnet?
It's garnet.
Oh,
It's the exact same garnet as Florida State. So introducing Runt. Congrats
Very
again to
nice.
Brett.
Yes.
All right.
Congrats to Brett. We've got 1 race left. I kept saying there's 10. There's only 9. This is it.
Okay, this is it. Here's the field. 7 owners, 11 horses. The purse is 850 grand.
That's right.
talking-
$850,000, $510,000 to the winner, $170,000 to the place, and a hell of a field here. The race of the day, fastest 2 minutes in American sports, the one we've all been waiting for, beneath the twin spires of Churchill Downs.
Run for the
Horses
roses,
are
Jimmy.
ready. Run for the roses. Who's going to find their way into the winner's circle today?
Kentucky
The
Derby.
first ever Kentucky Derby. Crowd on their feet, and they're off. Lemke out to the early lead, followed by Disnelodian. She rode Sassy, Macaroni and Cheese. Up into second now, Nuclear Option in second. Disnelodian with the lead, over half a length. As we head into the backstretch, Macaroni and Cheese in second. Intention up there now. She rode Sassy now into third. Macaroni and Cheese in first. 3 Nate's three horses, all first, second, third right now. Lemke out to a huge lead. Jazz charging hard now into second. As we approach the last turn, down the stretch they come. Lemke with a gigantic lead. Beach Carrot in second. Macaroni and Cheese now passing Beach Carrot in second. And a big day for Nate. Lemke with the win. Macaroni and Cheese trying for second, but Beach Carrot strong just charges hard and takes second away. Supply and Demand into the third. Macaroni and Cheese ends up in fourth, followed by Torrential Downpour, Intention, She Rode Sassy, Disnelodian, Jazz, Spothead, and the Nuclear Option. Nate and Lemke winning the Kentucky Derby.
Lemke, huge upset. Or Jesse says
Unbelievable.
her Oracle dog is for sale. Congrats to Nate.
Did he join live?
It looks like he joined live. Nate, do you have any comments on the big upset? He types "woo," and I believe
He's in shock.
Yeah.
Nate has his own separate spreadsheets we've learned, and maybe it all paid off.
It definitely paid off.
Why do you
Lemke
think he's
bringing
special
home
in that regard?
He-
510,000
He says he's
and the
jumping
fourth
for
horse.
joy.
So.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's,
nice.
he's getting showered in champagne right now. He can't talk.
Yeah, he doesn't have time for interviews. Beach Carrot
With the
did
two
finish-
horses over $550,000 by Nate there.
Yeah. Yeah, with the fourth place finish. Yeah, Beach Carrot did get second, Supply and Demand third. Yeah, so what a derby, what a run for the Roses. Lemke, a surprise, but also kind of never in doubt.
Yeah. After that, yeah. Once we got past the
Halfway.
second turn, Lemke really took over there. And
Yeah, and then you wondered if he was going to hit a wall, but
Yeah,
he never
'cause-
did.
unlike most of the races today, Lemke kept that lead and didn't let up.
I think Beach Carrot ran the race she wanted to. She conserved early and then came on hard late, but I don't know. Didn't account
Just a
for
little short.
the day Lemke was going to have.
For sure.
All right, why don't we update the standings?
Let's do it, Chris.
All right, you got to give me a second.
A very entertaining day here at Churchill Downs. First ever Kentucky Derby. I'm gonna try and do the Chris. Oh man, I don't have it in front of me.
You got your script?
That's right. No, I got to say it one more time. There we go. Yeah. First Kentucky Derby in Chris Lewis's Google Sheets based horse racing simulation dynasty fantasy league. And
All right,
it
well,
was
here
awesome.
it is. Nate into first. Johnny's time at first place will for now be limited at just the one day. Andrew into third. Brett, he might, I don't know, he might consider today a little bit of a disappointment because of how the Kentucky Derby went, but he did get the second place finish and then first and third in the Oaks. And I checked in the pregame, so he catapulted himself from 10th to 4th. And there's two more of these races built for his top 3-year-olds in the coming weeks.
Awesome. And Nate still celebrating in the winner's circle.
Yes.
Joining the names like American Pharaoh, Seattle Slew, Secretariat, and now Lemke in the history
Lemke.
books as a Kentucky Derby winner.
Here's Lemke. Congrats again to Nate.
Does it
Yeah.
have emo bangs?
It might have emo bangs.
That horse doesn't care. I don't care, Mom. You don't get it.
Yeah, the blood bay, the red black horse. Those are good looking horses.
You're a good looking horse.
That's
You're
awesome.
good. All right, thank you everyone. Next time is the Preakness. I'll have the races announced tomorrow at the latest. It will be the broadcast will be on a Saturday because I'm not available on the Sunday. Hopefully Jimmy's available. If not, we're gonna have to work it out. And of course, the story for the next 2 weeks will be, can Lemke do it? Because you got to win all three to get the Triple Crown. And Lemke has become the horse to watch.
No
There
pressure.
we go. No pressure. Thanks, Chris, for a great broadcast. First leg of the Triple Crown complete. 2 to go. Hope everybody enjoyed it.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I
Thanks,
think
Chris. Jimmy, good job, man. Good job again. Sure.
Thanks, bud.
the opening monologue was, I think, one of the highlights.
That was beautiful.
It was
Thanks,
beautiful.
guys.
I was a big fan of the photos too.
Nice.
I
I will
also like
just
to
shout
hear-
out. Sorry, I was gonna say shout out to Bob Costas and Tom Hammond for some of that material in the pregame. They're legends.
I was saying that Chris named these horses really complicated things, and you have to say it so quickly many times, like kumquat
I know.
aficionado and macaroni.
I think Kumquat Aficionado was the one I messed that one up a couple times. I think I added a syllable in there.
It was funny.
Yeah, what was it? Kumquat Aficionado or something? Yeah, it was something like that.
All right, guys.
Fun times.
I'm gonna sign off on the recording, but people can hang out if they want. Stop in the recording. Thanks for the Kentucky Derby Day, guys.